Your breakfast.
English breakfast, French fries, cocoa, all socials from Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bliss,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
GhanaTalks Radio, #1.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Radio, your morning companion. You're welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and you are welcome to the news headline review right here on the show. Here we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. I remain your host, Ruth Esinam Fiagbedu. And as you know it, joining me this morning is Mr. Biadoso and Miss Regina Bliss, who will be giving you their informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. Stick with us, please. Good morning, Miss Debbie.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good.
We bless God for that. It's yet another week. Another beautiful sunny morning. I think in a long while I've now seen the sun up early in the morning like this.
Really?
Yes, in a long while, because this past few weeks and months we've been having cloudy mornings, rainy days, and all of that. But I woke up this morning and I saw the sun. I was like, wow. When no be traffic child, no, I trust say sun kissed. Yeah. So it's a beautiful sunny morning, yeah? Yeah, we bless God for that. I'm just hoping that we are not going to see it rain today, because God...
But sometimes when it's too sunny, it means it will rain.
Oh, Debbie.
Oh, yes, true. When the sun is very hot,
yeah,
it's an indication
that it will rain. I hear that a lot. But today, there, it shouldn't rain. Today there shouldn't rain. The sun should keep shining. The sun shall soon shine.
Well,
it should keep shining.
we are hoping for the best.
Yeah, right. True. We are hoping for the best. Yeah. So I don't know if you've seen this comment online that they are saying that ECG they should take their lights because there's nothing in their fridge. I don't know if you've seen that funny video on TikTok.
I didn't come across that.
I think we even did an infographic on it when
really?
People were commenting that their eyes are hurting. So ECG should take the light.
I think Ghanaians, we are some way.
We are some way.
Yeah.
We don't know what we want.
Right.
Actually, we don't know what we want. And it's very, very sad. How can you sit there and watch that ECG should take the
They
light?
are just tempting. I mean, it's a tempt, and I feel like it's a mockery to some people.
Oh,
You get
yes.
it.
I now get an irony. That's true.
It's a mockery to some people.
They didn't tell us to go and prepare our timetable.
Yeah.
Miss Regina,
Yeah.
how are you doing?
Good, yeah.
I'm fine. How's the weekend for you?
Fine.
You look lovely in black.
Thank you.
Right, good. Okay. It's another beautiful Monday morning, so we'll just dive into the major news items for this morning. School placement killed the elephant cord protocol. Former GES boss. The persistent national crisis surrounding the computerized school selection and placement system, which has seen repeated outbreaks of confusion and parental protests at placement centers, can only be solved by confronting the small elephant in the room of protocol admissions. This was stern diagnosis delivered by Charles Ahito, a former Director General of the Ghana Education Service. Mr. Ahito, who oversaw a portion of the CSSPS implementation during his tenure, insisted that extra system admissions, colloquially known as protocol, have fundamentally destabilized the ostensible merit-based electronic placement system. The former GES boss launched a scathing critique of the CSSPS design, arguing its failure was predictable from the start. The CSSPS, introduced years ago to automate the placement of hundreds of thousands of basic education certificate examination graduates into SHS, was intended to eliminate the very human interference that protocol represents. Mr. Hito argued that the system's architect failed to account for deeply ingrained patronage within the education system. Mr. Hito defined protocol as the immense pressure exerted by parents and influential figures on headmasters and GES officials to admit students, often those with lower qualifying grades, into highly coveted schools outside the official computerized placement list. He revealed that rather than diminishing over time, this practice has actively increased in scope and impact. Data from previous years' placement exercises often show discrepancies between the number of available slots and the final admitted students, with the difference often attributed to those discretionary admissions. He pointed out that every single extra system admission effectively displaces a student who qualifies strictly through the electronic merit mechanism. And this is coming from Mr. Charles Ahito, who has blamed the reoccurring problems with the computerized school selection and placement system on the practice of protocol admissions. And these are cases where influential people pressure schools to admit students outside the merit-based computerized placement system, often pushing out qualified candidates. He urged that the CSSPS was flawed from the start because it failed to address this estranged culture of patronage, making it dead on arrival. According to him, protocol admissions not only undermine fairness but also fuel the yearly chaos seen at school placement centers. And I think this issue has been an issue overdue, where when it's time to, put students in certain schools, some parents put pressure on headmasters and even some teachers to pay some money just to allow your ward to be in that school. Why don't you just, accept it as such? If you think the school is bad, as the regional minister, the Accra regional minister said, extra classes, because here lies the case. You have some people with aggregate 10 and they are not getting A schools. Some people with 7 or 8 or even 6, they are not getting A schools. They are getting the B, the D schools and the C schools, which is very bad. And then when it happens like that, when these protocols happen, when you give protocol admissions, you deprive other students, such as these scholars who did very well in the exams, from getting their preferred schools, and this is very bad. My question has to be with the government. If we've seen this issue over time, like every time basic, they finish BEC and they are given placement or assigned to certain schools, we always see this problem. It's not like this is the first time. We always see it. So why hasn't the government put anything in place to ban it, or maybe punish people for doing this whole protocol? Because mind you, it's a criminal act, because that is bribery. Going to the school to pay some sort of money just to allow maybe your ward who didn't do well to get a category A to school is very bad. So why hasn't the government done anything about it, or even banned this whole protocol admission thing? Ms. Debbie?
Well, for me, I believe I wouldn't say the government hasn't done anything. I feel like the government is doing something, but then it's not enough.
It's not enough.
Because if you listen to the man very well, he said they've put measures in place. That has to do with, I think a representative from GES also speaking on behalf of the government said they've put measures in place and they've warned authorities not to take money from parents. I don't know whether you saw that.
Yeah.
Not to take money from parents. And every parent that will, a school authority will ask for money before admitting a student should report. Then it also means that as a school authority, any parent who also come to you and tell you that my ward has gotten aggregate 30, aggregate 50, and so I'm giving you money to admit the child, you should also report the parent. Because I feel like this is something that we've normalized and it's common. And you see, and it's very, very bad. Because we have students who are very good. They are very good.
Yeah.
But they don't get A schools. You see, this kind of perception that A schools are too good, no, we are supposed to change it. We have schools that are in a B column and they are equally good as well.
Good.
They are far better. Have you taken a tour to most of these A schools? And no money na never HSO so money more dear. But because this tag A school it add up to you, and that is all. So I feel like they have to educate parents on that. If your ward didn't get A, if you want your ward to get an A school, she should sit on her buttocks and learn. Because getting an A school is merit based, and the merit has to do with what you've written on paper. So imagine you've written exam, right? If you had A1 in chain, it's going to reflect the day you go for your certificate. It's going to reflect. You can't tell me that you went for your certificates and maybe you got first class or something. Someone comes to tell that I copy down. What I've written is what is on the paper. And so right now, if I want to do my master's or my PhD, I'm going to present it and I'm going to back my certi,
right,
because I sat on my buttocks to get that. So if you want your ward to be in an A school, he or she should also sit on his or her buttocks and study. You cannot tell me that your ward will be roaming about. And you see, this is most of the time common with the rich parents. They don't really care about the kids, but 20, 30 bar, because they have the money. And Mr. Hato even actually said something like, to stop these things, then we are supposed to seal those holes with people who have says, like director of GES. I know a relative now you're 30, and you're supposed to do something for me.
Exactly.
And can you tell me that you cannot help me? No. And immediately GES director come to a Brig Girls or Wesley Girls or one of these big schools, and it tells you that I'm bringing a word, or they aggregate 40 back or GS director Kasa, what do you have to say? You have nothing. So for me, you didn't ask me this, but I want to add it. We can only prevent this when we do standardized tests. You see how when you want to apply for university, sometimes you write a test before you are being admitted. It's normally common with the law school though, but some universities also do it. Before they admit, you've already pay for the admission, everything, no. But before you be enrolled in the school, you have to write a test.
And so what about the BEC they wrote?
No, the BEC, that's BEC, but you still have to write a test.
Don't you think that's a waste of time?
It's not a waste of time.
And resources as
no,
well.
it's not a waste of time.
Then after
the resources,
you write another test.
Yes, that has nothing to do with the government. The school that is enrolling you, the students, you have to conduct a test for the students. Is
it going to be like the licensure exam?
No, licensure exam. They say you're supposed to pass and get your certificate. Not certificates. The certificate is to usher you into the field to teach. But this one, before you are being admitted into the school, if you go for the admission, you are supposed to write a test.
For the Lego, I know it's to be done for the matured students.
Matured students, not only matured students, but sometimes for it depends on the course you want to offer. You write a test to know your eligibility, because results now what they ban, they have to find out whether the result is for you. So for us to prevent, yes, it's for you.
So does that mean GES is telling lies or
GS is not telling lies, but even GS themselves they are confused.
Marco Chairs on Saba?
What does that
mean?
Write a test. That is the only way we can stop this protocol thing.
There's a way they call is it aptitude
aptitude or something on the test. That's the only way we can stop this thing. That's the only way you can bring in students, because
so that means that those that do not qualify do not go to school.
No, you don't get me. What we are looking at right now is parents paying like illegally paying for some schools to admit their students. Okay, in a sense that Obana anya A school, or the A school, and that is why we have most of these A schools being so crowded. So to prevent all the stuff, you pay. That is right, but your ward is supposed to write a test. If the person gets an A school, maybe you've been posted to an A school, that is different. But when somebody comes to pay you, they should write the test. If she's good though, but and so with that, when they write the test and you are good to go, why they admit you? Even some schools, I don't know whether you changed schools before. PCs, when you change a school to another school, you write a test. Maybe you are in P5 to P6. They'll tell you to write a test to P6. They'll promote you to P6. When you fail, they'll repeat you in P5. So this is simple. That's the only way we can prevent this protocol payments or staffs.
Yeah.
If not, then it's not going to help.
Miss Eugenia, are you in agreement with what Mr. B is saying with regards to writing a standardized test for these people when they finish school? So as for the school to, decide if the person passed or not, to be able to admit these people. And she said that is going to help to prevent this whole bribery and corruption and protocol admission thing. Yeah. Do you side with it?
Okay, so with the bribery and corruption, I would say a better thing to eradicate it, because what if you take the standardized test and you find a way to bribe these teachers also? Yeah. She said something and you were like, so does it mean that the result is not mine? Sometimes, I don't know how true that is, but we've heard of instances where Ubaka check your results, ubenya good grade, but 1 week, 2 weeks later, but check now grade. They should tell you that it's being sold. These rich people have access to these people. And to know grade, so in a way they steal it. They don't ask anyone's opinion, they just take another person's hard-earned marks for another person. So I think the standardized examination is very good. When you are transferring to another school, I don't know if you've transferred, but I've transferred to another school. You take your test results, your examinations, your classworks to the next school. It's yours. Everything shows it's yours. The teachers go through, the headmaster or the proprietors in charge of the school goes through your test. It's yours. But at the end of the day, before you are accepted into that class, you are being made to write another exams. And that exams will prove your potency. Say ampa unimadia na unimadia. Omo say unimadia. Either say yedo you would miss. If you are supposed to go for it, you would have to go back, and it happens to a lot of people. So looking at this examination thing, this BEC, WASI, it doesn't only end with BEC. WASI also a rampant or hopa. I think it's high time, as she said, they introduce it. What your BEC, what your WASI? Let's use BEC for example. What your BEC anyway? When you are moving to the next one, it's good that you have to write another exams. People will be like, you've wasted a whole 3 years learning. Why should I go again and go and learn? Sometimes in some SHS, as a BEC student, I will call the next SHS class. They make you write an exam based on what you are about to learn. Some people after BEC and that is it, they slag behind. They are at home doing nothing. We understand that sometimes this is a financial burden to the parents, but sometimes some parents make sure that their kids further omuti fear during some more change some will be result the ban or school de or start classes or SHS nyama. So in some schools, who run first and you have actual exams. One year, then you have to go back. I think mostly it happens private, because private mature exams.
Right.
Before I was enrolled. So I think the corruption there, they can't, I don't think they can stop it. And that protocol thing, they can't stop it. Because the schools are given to people based on who they know. Imagine somebody envelope pufu bro. So, oh, give my child this school. Obey, because we who envelope. And I think during over the weekend, yes, some of these parents were at the, I don't know if it's placement center, waiting for their schools to be changed. I thought that someone who is in Accra has been given a day school somewhere else. In Kwanta.
Day school.
Okay,
sometimes I wonder, school not done.
Seriously,
because it's serious. Because I feel like it involves a whole lot of
the school they choose is
mathematics. Like you have to do proper calculation with this thing. No, the person is in Accra. Na day school in Kwanta dia okoye.
The schools they also choose is too much. I learned they choose seven
schools.
The thing
one day school.
The student needs to be educated. You see, when you're choosing school, you shouldn't be
they are educated before they
they sometimes they have some of their teachers guiding them to even choose. I remember when I was choosing my sister's school, I had to go there. The teacher was also there to guide me before I even choose the school. I did my proper research, looking at the locations and what the courses they do. Maybe all person visual arts. Because choose school be any visual arts.
Yeah.
Then automatically the computer will put you somewhere that they do visual arts, and the location doesn't align with where you are.
Yeah.
So I think you have a point there. In as much as they have been educated, they still need to be educated, especially with the parents who are not really abreast with this whole school placement thing. Sometimes they just go there and then choose and then come home, and then at the latter end, if they are assigned to the schools, then you find yourself wanting being at placement centers. This protocol thing has to stop. It's not the first time this is actually happening. Oh, but come on. It has to stop. They really have to do a proper overhaul to make sure that the system favors everyone. Yeah. All right, so moving on. Infrastructure deficit to stall SHS upgrades for decades. EduWatch. Kofi Asare, Executive Director of African Education Watch, has warned that Ghana's free SHS policy will not transform the country's secondary school infrastructure overnight, stressing that it could take nearly 2 decades to bridge the existing gaps. Mr. Asare said the program was introduced with the underlying assumption that our students should accept secondary education in dilapidated structures rather than not to accept it at all. He noted that while the government is currently spending about 2 billion Ghana cedis annually on secondary school infrastructure, competing demands from basic and tertiary education limit how much progress can be made. So he made an example. He said, if you look at the trend between 2018 and 2024, what was achieved in terms of investment in infrastructure and expansion in facilities and the current allocation under CAPEX vis-a-vis the competing demands from basic and tertiary, it tells you that given the current pace, it will take us about 10-15 years before we can upgrade Kanto to the level of Ekwapeman Senior High School. It is also going to take us 10 to 15 years before we can upgrade Manzono College of Music to the level of Apam Senior High School, he explained. And I think that has been the trend, that it's better you accept the already building that is spoiling.
If it's you, would you accept it?
The building that is, rather than you not to go to school at all. And that is what our system has become. Example, you go to a school, they don't have blackboard. They have to, I don't know how they manage it, but they are like, oh, they're going to say, half a loaf of bread is better than none. Go or you not go at all. Why is it a trend?
Even when you take a child to nursery school, now your mom call you or her. When he or she comes, so mommy, that place is not good. Mommy, I don't like it. Mommy, I don't. How much more a student and a fee or adulthood will say it is better you accept a dilapidated
building
school.
Yeah.
Hey.
Could it be that sometimes these students actually feel discouraged, not mainly because of their performance, but the beauty of the school?
Imagine you are coming to work and this building you enter, there's cracks.
I'll not take videos.
You put a video. The chair said the way we then agono sir. The cameras the cameras So when you appear on camera, you are beautiful, but what people are seeing is a different thing. The microphone is not really working well. Every day today the machine is doing this. You will not even have the appetite to come to work. So what that person is saying, I don't agree. And me, that 10 to 15 years, I feel is even too much, because the government is capable and they are able to do it.
Right.
They can do it.
Right.
So 10 to 15 years, saying, what the young can say, every MP in every constituency is collaborating with the government.
Exactly.
2,207 students of JHS or Moko SHS, he was able to provide mattresses, I think books and chopbox for his own money. Who else money? His own money. So I don't know calculate yes kaketwa.
Hey, chopbox kana say 400 cedis o.
Chopbox and then actually the young man no, yeah, the good sack kotokuwa mo.
Just somebody container close.
Because a baby at time is almost 1,000 cedis.
Right.
Chopbox 400 cedis.
Oh, chopbox 400 cedis.
Oh wow.
I remember buying for my
parents.
Buying for my kids' sister.
Oh wow. So I don't agree with him saying that they should accept it like that. See, those schools he's mentioning, and you know, say what Mazona and Canton. I've never even heard it before.
You get it.
So, I've not heard it before.
So these are some of these schools that they don't even pay attention
exactly
to even build a school up. So into what the Obi cautious school now.
They will say on Jintumusa.
On Jintumusa.
Na china kuna edani bebugu ne so aba be ka say on Jintumusa. See, students are students and they are kids. They are kids growing up. We should make the environment very lively and conducive for them.
Right.
It should be like friendly, so that omo class no mo dia, they will be able to learn it. But obekona ebu what hana no your friend is saying blogs ni be atititibu so fear of life. You will not go to school. I remember I attended one private school in Soto. Private school no, sorry, in Soto. I said in Soto bone. No one is saying in Akugu. Sorry, then I was private school pa. I went to my complaint. Your mommy jai.
Of course.
So private school puna ye China government. See, sometimes it all boils down to financial burdens on the parents. I believe if parents are capable enough to take their child to private schools, they will do it.
Oh yes.
See, we always compare private schools to government schools. This should send a signal to the government. You are no better off than the private schools. Even the government schools now can endorse bam saying private schools. Endorse. So they should make sure that they are able to change the facilities for these kids. That 10 to 15 years, honestly, is too much.
It's too much.
It's too much.
Well, Miss Debbie, it's going to take 10 to 15 years to bridge that gap. What do you think the governments can do to,
What do I think the government can do?
As Miss Regina said, if every MP in each constituency could take it up as a project, don't you think that will help? Or is there any other alternative?
They should take it as adoye
and CSR, corporate social responsibility.
There is a lot for the government to do, but then I believe the government cannot do it alone as usual.
Okay.
They are supposed to collaborate and partner with other people, and that has to always be with the private sector, because they can help, or as well private collaborating with partners from people outside the country. And you see, one of the funny things that came across my mind when we are reading, it has to do with bridging gap. So for how long will we continue to be bridging gap? Just a bridging gap in Yeda. Every day we are bridging gap concerning this, concerning that, and then we don't really see the tail end of it. And then you see, education is one thing that is very key, and then we need to pay attention to it.
Right.
And then when you look at our education system, it's very bad. We will not be experiencing all this brouhaha. Imagine every school is well equipped, every school is well resourced, regardless. Even if the school is a D school, the school is well resourced, the school is well equipped. Do you think parents will not allow their ones to go there? They will go there.
They will go.
Because senior high school is not a day journey. It's a 4 years journey. And sometimes this world will have to leave home and then go to other places. And sometimes I understand these parents because baby and ewa. And sometimes these children have never left home before. They are always in the house. So leaving your parent to another environment you've never experienced before, and then the worst thing is getting there and per assumption you get there, and then what you see on social media is not what is on the ground. Most of these dilapidated senior high schools we see across, they have a very nice picture on social media, a very beautiful picture,
nice one,
like luxury environments, conducive one, and then
branding.
Like immediately you see the picture, you are so much in love with the school, but then when you get there, first sight, everything your boy area, seriously, and it can actually prevent you from learning. It's not as if the student is not good, but all these things count. From private school, the private school she attended is not like that. It's very conducive. Right. They are not even overcrowded in the class. And then she got a school that's like 100 plus in a class, and then you have to be sharing seats with 3 people.
I remember the free SHS, but we got to a time I was hearing that they should bring chairs.
Oh yeah, sometime back they said parents should help bring chairs to school too. So you see, the government has a lot to do. A lot. I feel like they should rather focus on infrastructure and resource it. And any problem, resource it. And as I will continue to say this, even if it's a e-school, and then the school is well resourced, the teachers we have in those DC, are we trying to say that they are no good? It's not that same teachers we have in the A schools, but they don't have the necessary tools to teach these students. So what do you want them to do? Right. And sometimes we tend to blame these teachers, but so when you resource these schools, they can compete with the A school. You don't expect a D, E, C school when you've not even resourced them, and then you expect them to compete with an A school, and then you sit back to tell me, say Memfa Nessa. Who does that? Memfa Densa. Right. You don't say that. Do it. You can do it. So you should do it. It's a necessity. You should do it. It's very necessary. You don't sit in your office and be writing big English and tell us that Yemfa Nessa. Why Yemfa Nessa?
Right.
Why
Who gave him the audacity?
You don't say that.
That kind of school.
Uncle Ghana could be free outside. So you don't tell us say Yemfa. That's why I wonder what they go outside to learn.
So let me clarify this here. So he's saying that the program was introduced with the underlying assumption our students should accept secondary education in dilapidated structures rather than not to accept it at all.
I will not accept it at
all.
So
that is the assumption the government came up with. It's not like it's something that he emphatically.
This is not about assumption. No, it's not assumption. That is how they'll put it. But sometimes parents have to even convince their children that who they send a who they 4 years but it's not like that. The child needs to have mental health. It needs to be very stable. Everything needs to be stable.
What you are saying, I saw on TikTok a video where the young girl was crying. She had 19, and a woman in school be, and she was like, she doesn't want to go to that, and the mother was like, she doesn't have money to go and change any school, so she should go like that.
You have no option.
So and then the parents go through.
You see,
over school, that effort to learn.
It's to rather get to maybe form 2, form 3. That is where. Like
that saying that you probably saying that half a loaf of bread is better than that.
This one
they should stop that.
If it is not good,
they should stop. And the reason why this case is becoming so complex is because there is already this notion she said these schools normal. But I can tell you that we have scholars in this country that
Yeah.
completed from ED schools.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so moving on to our last story briefly. Don't rush back to Eurobond market. Fix the economy first. World Bank tells Ghana. The World Bank has cautioned that Ghana must resist the temptation of rushing back to the Eurobond market, warning that international investors would see such a move as the easy way out. The bank argues that credibility cannot be rebuilt through fresh borrowing, but only through discipline, transparency, and politically difficult reforms. The bank stresses that Ghana's economic recovery depends on strict adherence to the medium-term debt management strategy and full transparency on the annual borrowing plan. It adds that the government must use the post-election honeymoon period to implement politically challenging reforms and re-establish credibility with investors and citizens alike. This warning comes against the backdrop of Ghana's long history of economic crisis and reliance of external bailout. The report notes that the country has entered 17 IMF programs in 68 years, spending close to 40 of those years under active fund support. The World Bank stressed that the 2022 crisis was not caused by COVID-19 or the Russia-Ukraine war, but by years of fiscal indiscipline, excessive borrowing, and weak public financial management. Easy access to Eurobond markets in the past decade, it says, encouraged political short-sightedness and delayed critical reforms, a situation that ultimately left the economy exposed. Even after the recent debt restructuring and IMF support program, the bank warns Ghana is not yet out of danger. Re-establishing credibility will take time, but the process can start immediately, it said, urging the government to act decisively to avoid sliding back into the familiar boom and bust cycle. Meanwhile, the Mahama government has already echoed a similar caution. During his media encounter, he indicated that he was not in favor of an early return to the capital market. And that was coming from World Bank. So we shouldn't be in a rush to return to the Eurobond. And already Ghana must rebuild credibility through fiscal discipline, transparency, and tough reforms that put debt on a sustainable path. What do you make of it, Miss Debbie?
They are right. They are not wrong anyway. They are right. We shouldn't be in a hurry to, run into global markets for borrowing. Borrowing is kind of the basel. The enfanya the papa bia.
I think since Mama has been in power, we've not seen any borrowing.
Oh no, not yet. We haven't.
Not yet.
And yet.
Oh, then again there.
Say oba and to mean to me.
Yes, but do you think
me prophetess America say me bro who susum we are saying we say 2026.
But do you think he's still enjoying honeymoon though?
Honeymoon.
I think his honeymoon is over.
President Mahama is not enjoying any honeymoon.
I think no, as in the honeymoon period. As you know, he came to power not long ago. Do you think he's still enjoying honeymoon period? Are we still in his honeymoon period? Or you think it's over? It's high time we stop pampering them and
And who is pampering them?
Oh right.
President Mahama is actually doing what he's doing. How well do we want him to perform?
So,
I don't really understand us as Ghanaians. How well do we want him to perform? Or we want to see him with a Igako? They be a zo up and down, and then we will know that
maybe carrying cement,
so that we will know that this man is actually doing marvelously well. Trust me. Oh yes.
On a rate from 1 to 10.
You know, my man 2000.
Don't be biased.
Well, so back to what you were saying. It's a good advice they are giving us.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
It's a good advice, and then looking at President Mahama talking about his 24-hour and everything has to focus on economy. And how do we sustain the economy? Very simple. The little we have, we manage it very well. We don't mismanage it. Fiscal indiscipline. And we've experienced this with the previous government and the government we've experienced. And the same World Bank is saying that the Russia-Ukraine war and the COVID-19 subona yede bono enye sana netie.
Yeah.
So enye sana netie there, then it means that the leaders we've experienced before, they've deceived us. Where the money is right now, we don't know. And as it stands right now, we cannot retrieve the money. The deed has already been done. But how are we going to prevent it from not reoccurring? And the best thing is, they've outlined it there. We should manage our wealth well. And the wealth has to do with the money we have. We should manage it well. We shouldn't go back. And that has to do with bringing for projects or policies on board that will not happen in such a way that we overspend to the extent that your baby come go back to them. And with the distance, there will still go back home because the distance we've signed is 60 years and we've already spent only 40.
Only 40.
So we still have 20 years more. So just say everything at any time, yeah.
But we shouldn't be in a rush.
We shouldn't be in a rush, and that has to do with we walking in the right path. And the right path has to do with bringing out the right policies, like spending within our means, not overspending. And this is going to pop out our credibility and also make them, whoever is coming in to invest in whatever we do here is going to, bring an iota of trust. They're going to trust us again, because as it stands out, I know that all the investors coming here are coming here because of pity, because they don't trust us. Yes, they don't.
Miss Eugenia, briefly.
Okay, so I do agree with Miss Debbie. I think this is the time where they need to be disciplined as the government and also as a country. As World Bank said, whatever situation that the past administration aligned, their carelessness, recklessness and incompetency too was a lie. And I think this is the time where special prosecutor needs to do his job, because World Bank in Parka, what are you still doing? I think during last week I saw a news article where the ex-French president was jailed for corruption. So presidents no more no more corruption, no more saying no more so this is the time where the government has to you should do something, show us that yes, they are doing something.
Arrest these people.
Nobody is above the law.
Arrest them to one your bar. Arrest
the law is the law. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining us in the news headline review. Up next, we have the review.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matters to the state, void of politics, fear of favor. This morning, I'm very excited. Very, very excited. I want to talk about this, but I actually took my time to, get the whole issues about that. And that has to do with the just ended UN meeting where the president went to represent us as a country, and then we saw what happened globally. I don't know whether you actually listened to the speech of the president. This was mind-blowing. It tells us that Africans, we are waking up. It sends a message that Africans, we've been cheated for so long, and it's like we've been quiet for so long, and as it stands now, we are not going to be quiet, we are not going to be intimidated, we are not going to allow the little chops you drop in our hands. No, not at all. So we saw President Mahama representing us at the UN meeting, and then this UN meeting has to do with leaders of all, global nations coming together, discuss the welfare of countries globally, and then find solutions to them. They help countries that are so much endeavored with conflict, countries that are actually suffering from poverty due to one thing or the other. And then you could see that Africa actually contributes a lot when it has to do with everything has to do with these UN staffs. But we don't really have a place. We don't really have a say. No African leader has a veto power to speak. I say, Momokwa, you are bench seaters. And then the Western leaders, they decide and everything, and then you have to swallow it like that. But then, at the end of it, Africa contributes more. And it was stated there. And according to President Mahama, there is a report that in 2050, when we are talking about vibrant youth, people rising to help, the nation globally, not only Ghana, but the whole world, it has to do with Africans. So why are we being sidelined? You get it? So you see, President Mahama has actually placed us on the globe. He spoke without intimidation. He spoke as if there was no time for explanation. And you see, that is what we want. See, if we should get African leaders like President Mahama, President Ruto of Kenya, and then the President of Botswana, trust me, Africa is going to move forward. And Africa, we are going to make a name for ourselves. Because if you listen to these three presidents, the speech of the president of Kenya, the speech of the president of Botswana, and then the speech of president of Ghana, you could see that we are waking up. We are actually waking up from the slumber. Because we've been sidelined for too long. You said we are part of an organization, and then it's not as if our decisions does not count on a table. And I like the fact that President Mahama stated that African immigrants in the Western countries, they are not criminals, as they've stated. If African immigrants find themselves in any of the Western regions, it doesn't mean that they are criminals for them to be treated that way. And even if we are to tell these people to compensate us for the trade, the slave trade we went through in the hands of them, I think that this shouldn't be where we are. But for peace to reign and for us to see ourselves as one people, we forgo all those stuffs. So why should you sideline us when you yourself have already stated that Africa is actually making headway when it has to do with UN General Assembly? And you see, President Mahama said, we've been quiet for too long. Now we are no longer going to be quiet. And you say he made a statement that resources that are meant to be ours, we send it to them. And after it has been refined, they take 90% of the shares, and then we, the owners of the resources, are being given 10%. So we are using our own resources to enrich them. It doesn't make sense because we are helping you, and then you just wake up and then you feel like, oh, Africans do not really contribute to anything that has to do with the Western world, and so we are going to restrict their visas. We are going to restrict their visas and then give them like 5 months. And I know you remember that. Some time ago, Donald Trump said Africans can no longer have their way in their country. Even if you can come there, it has to do with a duration of 5 months. If some countries even got up to 4 months, 3 months. Then afterwards, you pack your things and then you come back to your country. So it looks as if we have everything, but we cannot see it. And our hands are being tied. But you see, what happened during that meeting clearly shows that we are waking up as Africans. It clearly shows that we are fed up. And that is the spirit. That is what we want to see. That is what we want our leaders to portray out there. I mean, you should go and see how Ghana was projected on the map. Why wouldn't you be happy as a Ghanaian? Because
The president represented us well as a country. He didn't only represent Ghana, but then he represented Africa. And that is the spirit of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. That is why I said, if we have presidents like President Mahama, we have presidents like President Ruto of the Kenya, we have presidents like the president of Botswana, trust me, we will make it. We will make it. And because these people, they feel like, and so whatever they bring to us, we fake it. And as much as and they impose things on us, and we've been quiet for so long. But share now, say you are giving it to us because you feel like you are doing us a favor. You can't take it. We wouldn't shake. But the best thing we also have to do is to improve upon ourselves. So now we are prompting them and then creating the awareness that our hands are no longer tied. Even if we were blind before, now our eyes are opened. We can take decision on our own. If you want us to be part of the UN the board, and you regard us as Africans for boldly stating that Africa is actually contributing a lot, and you don't see anything wrong with you not including them on the board of members that takes decision when it has to do with financially, economical side, institutions, investment, education, health sectors and everything, then we better exclude ourselves. And you see, after President Muhammad delivered a speech and everything, it wasn't so long. Donald Trump came out to apologize to President Muhammad. And the most exciting part of it was that the 5-month visa restriction has now been extended to 5 years for Ghanaians. So instead of we traveling a restricted month, like 4 months or so, it has now been expanded to 5 years. So you can now travel as a Ghanaian from Ghana to US, however you want to go in the Western world, and then you can spend like 5 years there. Sometimes it's good to open up. It's good to talk. We are not saying this to intimidate any of the African countries, but this is what we are saying. We need to be bold. We need to let them know how we feel, because we are humans. Just as they are humans. They breathe, we breathe. When someone causes them pain, they feel it. The same way we also feel it. How will they feel if we are treating them that way? And is it because there's some privileges we enjoyed from them, so they are going to do it? So they feel like they can do anything to us on, or just back out. Now, it was clearly stated that Africans, we are no longer afraid. We are no longer afraid of these Western countries. Whatever they want to do, they should go on and do it. And we can actually stand on our own. And that is the blood. That is how Africans we are made to be. We are made to be independent and not dependent. And so to the president, that was an excellent one. To all the presidents of the African countries that placed Africa on the map during the UN meeting, that was so perfect. And we hope that such will continue. It wouldn't just end there, but we are going to also see improvement. Because you don't go and say that now about our country, we also have to improve. Thank you for making time with me on the screen.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for the heated grill. Yeah. Miss Debbie, Miss Eugenia, what do you have for us today in history?
All right, so I'll just adopt Miss Debbie's name for today.
All right.
So. All right, so bringing you today in history, 1888. The Homowo Festival was held as late as the 29th of September. This significant traditional celebration among the Gan people marks the end of a devastating famine by hooting at hunger. The festival typically falls within the month of July, August or September and celebrates the return of bumper harvest and the resilience of the Ghana people, culminating in the traditional preparation and consumption of kpokpoi, a special corn meal. Cyanide-laced Tylenol kills first 3 of 7 victims. 3 Chicago area residents became ill and died after ingesting extra strength Tylenol, later found to be poisoned with cyanide. They are the first of 7 victims to lose their lives after taking the over-the-counter pain reliever, which had been tampered with. Benedict Arnold's accomplice is sentenced to death. Major John Andrew Benedict Arnold's British accomplice was court-martialed, found guilty of espionage, and sentenced to death by hanging for his role in Arnold's plot to surrender the American fort at West Point to the British. Andrea had been captured on September 29th, and his execution followed a few days later on October 2nd, 1718. Inventor Rudolf Diesel mysteriously vanishes from the SS Dresden while traveling from Antwerp to England. He was last seen after dinner in his cabin, which was found empty and undisturbed the following morning. His overcoat and hat were discovered folded under a railing on the ship's deck. 10 days later, a decomposed body found in the North Sea was identified by his son as Diesel's. Although it was returned to the water due to its condition, the official cause was suicide, but the circumstances remain a mystery, with theories ranging from accidental drowning to murder. Looking at some few observances, this day is observed as World Heart Day. It aims to raise global awareness about cardiovascular diseases, which are a leading cause of preventable death worldwide. The day encourages people, communities, and government to take action by adopting heart healthy practices and participating in advocacy efforts to reduce the burden of heart disease and stroke. International Day of Awareness of Food Loss and Waste. It is observed to raise awareness about the problem of food loss and waste and to promote global efforts towards reducing it. The goal is to encourage action to halve food waste at the retail and consumer levels by 2030 and reduce food losses throughout the supply chain, which support food security and protect the environment. Lastly, National Coffee Day celebrated. People from around the world love their coffee, but the US drinks more coffee than any nation. The typical American adult drinks 2.7 cups of a coffee a day. 150 million Americans drink 400 million cups of coffee per day, and that amounts to 140 billion cups gobbled down per year. So today, do well to drink coffee. And that's all for today on Today in History and some observances live on GhanaTalks breakfast show.
Do well to start your day with a cup of coffee, a hot cup of coffee,
Steamy one for that.
not banku or kinky.
Oh, but please, we would go in for banku this morning.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the first segment of the GhanaTalks breakfast show. We'll be going for the news shortly. Please stay and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Welcome to the morning news broadcast on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, former Ghana Education Service Boss demands reforms of computerized school selection placement. Ministry of Education and National Security investigate 15,000 placement allegation for a Brig Girls placement. Vice President of Imani Africa calls for accountability in Ghana's government. Eastern Region rice farmers face uncertainty due to market challenges. Ghana to roll out mandatory nationwide pet vaccination in 2026. These and many more coming up your way shortly. Former Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Charles Aheto, has strongly criticized the computerized school selection and placement system due to its failure to address protocol placement effectively. According to him, protocol pressure from parents and influential figures on school officials to admit students with lower grades into highly sought-after school pose a significant challenge to the system's credibility. He advocates for zero-tolerance policy towards protocol admissions backed by stringent audit of school auditions, register, and decisive penalties for non-compliance with the system.
CSSPS is a dead on arrival system. And a lot of people will not agree with me. Because at the time I sat in that conference in Dodua, right at the beginning, in Dodua, when we were thinking about CSSPS, I know the gentleman who was tasked with creating the software and all those things on the on the CSSPS thing. And I had discussions with him, as he was doing some of the work. Now, we had only one problem with the placement at the time. And I would say one problem, and that problem was protocol.
Okay.
Protocol was only our problem. But at the end of the day, when we have finished discussing the whole CSSPS issue, we didn't address protocol. Protocol is anybody who has influence going and putting quote-unquote pressure on the headmaster to take the child, even if the child had not even chosen that school. Those are the kinds of things that we talk about. We did not even know how to manage protocol in the system, even though we know that it's an ever-present issue in that process. So we couldn't manage it. And it lived with that system right from the beginning. The protocol has actually been expanded, and that is what we have to deal with. If we want to be very fair and equitable, we need to kill that small elephant in the room called protocol. And then know how to do it. Oh yes, you can throw that baby away with the bathwater. Because then, yes, you can do something. So I'll tell you where they fit into this whole arrangement.
Okay.
We are talking about how do we place children in the schools. If protocol is an issue, we can discuss protocol. How do we deal with protocol? So if we have standards for how we place children, beginning from academic performance, looking at school population, and then, as Kofi said, you are talking about infrastructure and all of those things will come in to inform that decision of how to place students.
With that being said, the Ghana Education Ministry and the National Security have launched an investigation into a viral social media post alleging that a sum of 15,000 was demanded for placement in a Bree Girls Senior High School. The probe is part of a broader effort to crack down on corruption in Ghana's education system in relation to school admissions. The investigation aims to ensure transparency and accountability in the school admission process and to prevent unfair practices.
Well, I am not aware of any investigative report. At least that hasn't come to my attention yet. However, granted that such a report do exist, the Ministry of Education has taken steps to ensure that this year's BEC computerized school placement system is carried out in a manner that is very, very credible. And even prior to the start of the placement itself, we roll out a campaign aimed at educating the general public that the placement is free, and if you encounter any ministry official or a third party demanding money from you, you need to report the incident to the Ghana Police Service or the Office of the Special Prosecutor. We have been running that campaign across some media outlets in Ghana. At the same time, the computerized placement system is on merit base, and the Minister for Education himself has, for the first time, has decided to stay away from the placement exercise itself. The minister do not have access to the login credentials of the computerized school placement system. His deputy, Honorable Dr. Apak, do not have access. The Director General of the Ghana Education Service himself do not have access. The ministry have allowed the Secretariat to operate independently. And issues with regards to the bribery itself are we have observed that many of it are allegations, and when those allegations are thrown into the public and we inquire, it becomes very, very difficult to ascertain those allegations. And like you rightly mentioned, yesterday the Deputy Minister even issued a statement in connection with issues regarding allegations of bribery as far as the BEC placement is concerned. And we are calling on the general public, if you have any evidence that you have paid any money to any official, be it Ministry of Education official or a third party, we have rolled out hotlines to which you can reach us, and we will be glad to engage you and then investigate the issues.
Vice President of Imani Africa, Kofi Bento, has labeled President Mahama as an imperial president accumulating too much power and operating beyond checks and balances of parliament and the judiciary. His comment comes as a part of a broader critique of President Mahama's administration, with concerns raised about the concentration of authority. His assessment of Mahama's first 8 months in office highlights erosion of public confidence and perceived inconsistencies in governance. The think tank's report emphasizes the need for tangible improvement and consistent messaging to restore credibility.
President Mahama is riding a very powerful wave, and today as we speak, he's becoming an imperial president. Parliament can't control him, and the judiciary can't control him.
If you say they can't control him,
I'm saying can't. Cannot.
What do you say?
They can try. He has total control over his people in parliament, and they have total control over parliament. All right? And you have a situation where we are just getting into a new chief justice after the old one was removed by President Mahama. Didn't the president sign a warrant to remove the chief justice? The chief justice is contending that the process is not good, and I think she has a case, but that's another matter. The point I am making is that today, as we speak, President Mahama is enjoying a honeymoon, extreme popularity. The parts of government that have to control him by virtue of the nature of our constitutional architecture, parliament and the judiciary, he's muted them. All right. So if you put that together, nobody. Okay, it will take something that I don't see can happen. To that extent, therefore, in the next 4 years, I think President Mahama is going to be fine.
Economic advisor Sharif Mahmoud Khalid has cautioned that the fight against Galamsey is a collective responsibility. According to him, the fight against illegal mining requires a collective effort from Ghanaians and not just the government. He stressed that the sustainability of anti-Galamsey campaign lies in the strength of Ghana's institutions. He also calls for a national conversation, urging Ghanaians to deal with the challenge from a national perspective rather than politicizing it.
That's why I say it's hydra-headed. You see different angles and dimensions, health implications, security implications, among others. So it's really we listen to the scientists without even listening to them. Crisscrossing the length and breadth of this country during the campaign trail is harrowing. The sight. I have my research over the years has been around community mining issues, right? And more so to look at the intersection between small-scale mining activities and large-scale mining activities, at least. So you look at how to solve this problem. I've seen around, even driving around, Hone Valley area, right, within these mining enclaves. I don't even need this research to convince me, given though how harrowing it is. It is bad. There's no political collaboration when it comes to drinking water. There's no political collaboration when it comes to childbirth, right? What is even looking in terms of our health investment? We're looking at a heavy, from an economic point of view, a heavy health wage bill ahead of us as a nation.
Yes.
Right, so you ask yourself.
Those who need dialysis will increase. Already we can't even pay for the dialysis.
So we're still trying to see how we can get machines into our district hospitals, into our polyclinics. Right, so what it tells you, but let's sit down and have a national conversation on that. My point is, how much do you earn from that? Compared to the ravages that it leaves for years. What I'm invariably saying is that we need to be nationalistic about this. We need to focus as a nation, regardless of who has the power. It's not an individual power. If we are resigning only this to a president, then I think we are all going to fail.
No,
right?
Because the president
we all have a role to act. Right? So what I am invariably saying or calling for is that what can we do to curb this situation as soon as possible? It's a matter of national emergency. And we've given the steps in the last 9 months. Look at the steps that have been taken. A sitting president, the president we are asking to act, instructs his attorney general to write persons than his national party executives that attention has been drawn to him that this is happening, so they need to be investigated. That is a bold step for a president to take and an AG to take, and by reflection, a cabinet to take. Right. Before the president took over office, a whole community in the Western region, Sudri, emerged as a Galamsey community across the value chain. And your own reports have it, over 10,000 residents, and all of it within the value chain of illegal mining. It's been destroyed. We are not saying that these efforts are enough. And I agree with whatever the coalition is saying. Right. We are ready to hold hand in hand with the coalition and all the stakeholders that be, regardless of our party coloration, to curb this people. I concede that we as a listening government, we take the feed of the stakeholders. We take the feed of the scientists. We take the feed of what is happening around illegal mining, and we take the feed of the voice of the people. It is roaring. Right, and the voice of the people is roaring in Ghana that we really need to curb this, right? And we are confident that as a government and in support with key stakeholders against the fight against illegal mining, we are going to curb this. That I am confident.
Rice farmers in Odankwanta, the eastern region, are struggling to find buyers for their produce, putting their livelihoods at risk. Despite harvesting hundreds of tons of rice, they are forced to sell to middlemen at extremely low prices. Poor road infrastructure and transportation challenges further isolate them from potential buyers, leading to increased post-harvest losses. The farmers are calling on the government to purchase the unsold stocks and provide targeted subsidies to improve market access. They also appeal to the National Food Buffer Stock Company and agricultural associations for assistance.
Bakwan say Jumano first and then penny for no more na muta drum on the bank say he said the Akubani say nkwala na o mafu school e fan we school abaka o mo ha no we school edwuma bi eni ho nti ye hwe ya o mo bae no mo so mo dom ho magi kwadwuma mu na mo dom ho ji kwadwuma e kwadwuma na ye first na ye na atofo no timi ba e be fa e say ya ye sa no e say ya mo na ye mo na ye nya tofo eni so say se nkwala no so tamaso say ombako school e baby school na ya si emona na tata bebre emu atofo ya meto afi your customers na omo dada na aram taboton omba na efre omo a omo so abrofo no biaba nti omo me fa den biu nti ama eyesa no youth ni nyina omo nyina ba ye mo no ama mo no ye ma sesi a ye nya tofo bia ese se baby school ye peskin bi na ye de akoma amankwala no de akọ school nti aban yesra ban omomodea no wonto nani hwe na adese kwan bi wo ha ode be fa se bitimi ato ye mo na nso anyi bia we kwala no na ye bompa isisi anto wo moye aban moye konda mu de yesin do be 2000 cries wo ha ai fenso e ta di machines ayi bo ayi bibia nti se first no a tetede na na wo kwa wo bra ho be huso be bibia wo sisi be yi abo de machines na yi abo ni nyina ba a wo nya ko pepepe wo fure djuma ba kwa na wo di iso sika so a but ma hwie mu na gum a wonya ho bibia na wanoa na wadi disenso ama so atofu bia ma meto ho ba me jume me customers na ya no me ojuma no metimi frefro me ti wo se debita ya start ejuma na nyane enya ye ya na ebeto enya ye na ebeto afi da bidu bi emiru ye frɛ customers o mefa emo no a omo se emo no o manya bi abrofo mu bia ba ntanya ani ade o ma ba fa dia no so hwe abrofo mu no so a 50 kilos by the end above 50 kilos e doso e chemba me nsa e den be minu no mo de na 50 kilo aye ba ko de si an so ya frefre mo a we also abrofo mo we also abrofo mo ama ye mo so aban de na last year aban de mo aye hwam kama efe ohun ade aban si yinua aboa na ya ejuma no so aba afi so aban so atofo ne ema ya mo so ehwam kama temu ye de so ahomodin wom abrofu de na omdi free mu aba na tam so no ya na ahomodin nim te se ye die ana ye de so bi wo ho a oba bi wo ho a onum aduane ye udi si eja so a na wono a wodam fikyire kura na wotu hwa no kura na baka se oba ye wono aduane wono aduane ye eso na mfiri aduane no na firi mu no ti omomode ara omtwom ni na omafa ye mu.
The National Veterinary Service Department has announced that all pets in Ghana will undergo mandatory vaccination beginning January 2026. According to the service, vaccinated pets will be issued official vaccination cards to ensure compliance and proper monitoring. The initiative forms part of effort to curb rabies-related deaths and improve pet health management across the country. Chief Veterinary Officer Samuel Kujo explained that the exercise is not only crucial for public health, but will also contribute to better management of the country's pet population. From January 2026, a national pet vaccination card will be issued for every vaccinated dog and cat at private veterinary service centers. These measures will make rabies vaccination mandatory nationwide and ensure proper tracking, harmonized reporting and reliable national data generation. He said the department believes the exercise will significantly reduce rabies infections, which remain a major public health concern, while also providing an accurate database of pets in the country. In business, digital consumers are expected to enjoy improved picture and sound quality by the second quarter of 2026 as the government moves to clear hurdles delaying Ghana's full migration from analog to digital television. A major setback has been the over 82 million cedis in duties on set-top boxes currently locked up in warehouses. The government says resolving these bottlenecks is critical to fast-tracking distributions and completing the switch. Sector Minister Samnate George, speaking at the Broadcasting at Crossroads forums organized by the African Media Bureau in partnership with Channel One, expressed optimism that final distribution will soon commence, assuring stakeholders of government commitment to achieve a full digital migration despite Ghana missing previous deadlines. He added that by the end of the second quarter of 2026, they will complete those distribution and announce a digital switch over. The broadcasting at the Crossroad Forum was climaxed with the sector minister commending the organizers for driving the industry dialogue. He, however, challenged them to present a draft report for onward technical deliberations, stressing that actionable recommendations will be key to transforming Ghana's broadcasting landscape. The Vehicle and Asset Dealers Association of Ghana has pushed back against growing public perceptions that its members are complicit in the sale of stolen vehicles. This comes on the back of intensified operations by security agencies this year, which have targeted stolen vehicles circulating on the Ghanaian market. According to Vehicle and Assets Dealers Association of the country, while the clampdown is within the mandate of law enforcement, the trend is beginning to affect the business of legitimate dealers. General Secretary of the association, Clifford Ansu, said the stigma is undermining consumer trust. He urged both the public and dealers to exercise due diligence when purchasing and importing vehicles to help address the challenge. In recent months, security agencies have stepped up efforts to curb the trafficking of stolen vehicles into the country. In August, the Ghana Police Service Criminal Investigation Department announced the recovery of 43 high-value luxury vehicles between January and July 2025. The Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, has also flagged Range Rovers, Dodge models and other luxury vehicles as among the most intercepted during its operations. EOCO's findings, drawn from collaborations with Interpol and other international bodies, highlight Ghana's growing profile as a destination for stolen vehicles, particularly from North America. To sports, head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko Sporting Club, Abdul Karim Zito, has stated that Sporting Kawara United midfielder John Mark was a key point in his plan to beat the Nigerian team. He said this in a post-game press after Kotoko beat Kawara United 1-0 in Nigeria to progress to the second round of the CAF Confederation Cup. Kotoko largely struggled defensively in Ghana to record a 4-3 win in the first leg, but delivered a stout defensive performance in the return leg to progress via 5-3 aggregate win. Aside keeping it tight in defense, Karim Zito pointed to mapping out a plan to stop midfielder John Mark from dictating the pace of the game as a key component in his team's victory. The plan was to stop him from playing, and we were able to do that because he's a good player. If he was in Ghana, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a call up to the national team. I am telling you the truth. Mark is a key player, so we had to plan against him, and so that he could not play. We were tracking him throughout the game, and he was substituted, so we achieved our objective, Zito said. Ghana no longer has a representative in the 2025-2026 CAF Champions League in the wake of Bibiani Gold Stars' elimination from the Continental Tournament. The reigning Ghana Premier League champions lost 5-0 to Algeria's side JS Kabylie, in order to crash out of the competition on a 7-0 loss aggregate loss. Gold Stars lost 2-0 in Ghana in the first league. Had Gold Stars qualified to the next round, they would have been matched against Tunisia Giant. Gold Stars trailed 2-0 at the end of the first half, with Emmanuel Kobe conceding an own goal in the 7th minute, and Gold Stars' plight worsened when Emmanuel Ankara was red-carded in the 60th minute. The heavy loss was Gold Stars' first outing after sacking head coach Stephen Frimpong Manso, reportedly over deep-rooted differences between the Venturian coach and the former player and the club's top hierarchy. Former Kumasi Asante Kotoko player and coach Frimpong Manso led Gold Stars to the Ghana League title in Bibiani's second season competing in the top flight. Gold Stars are set to announce Maxwell Kunedu as its head coach this week as the club focuses on defending its league title. Gold Stars takes on Suedro All Blacks at Suedro in the Ghana League on Saturday, October 4th. In showbiz, President of the Tour Operators Union of Ghana, Yvonne Donko, has called on African tourism leaders to collaborate and reimagine the future of tourism on the continent. She emphasized the need of working together to unlock tourism's full potential for Africa's prosperity, highlighting its role in driving economic growth, cultural exchange and sustainable development. Her statement reflects Tour Operations Union of Ghana's goal to transform Ghana's tourism sector and promote African tourism globally. It aims to strengthen ties with other African countries to enhance cross-border tourism and create joint opportunities. The organization emphasizes the need for sustainable tourism practices that benefit local communities and promote cultural exchange, while delivering key message during the World Tourism Day celebration in Lagos, Nigeria, highlighting the significance of tourism in achieving sustainable development goals. And that is how we end it on the morning news broadcast. As usual, do also log on to our streaming platforms at GhanaTalks Radio, as well as logging on to www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more news stories. I am Deborah Adol, so thank you for doing the listening. Good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
When your guy, what it? John, when your guy, what it? A boy now when you rather Busia go by the name Coin Takra. Call me, say you're Coin Takra, then your time it's Coin Takra live on GhanaTalks Radio now. Mondays and Fridays, may the time it's Coin Takra. Bravo, when you say Monday, then day. Aya mamere abakwasem Africa, Ghana, our heritage. Eka mamere ni amani yeteti abakwasem hon komone yedi. Aya hina ni yekonie now Friday ni ye bass on bass. Friday yeah rap. We dey talk about entertainment. We dey talk about music business. So join me this Monday and Friday. Be our live on GhanaTalks Radio. Don't forget So be follow all the social media platforms like Ghana Talks Radio and Ko Intakra. Me so me page in the so Ko Intakra. Now listen, be fire, be wajab our Ghana Talks Radio. Don't forget, so be download the app no Play Store and the App Store. Come here. Time it Ko Intakra Monday and Fridays. Jinamudi obi ama mi ara time no 7 p.m. sharp. Here the Jumedi any bro. Hinanie Konie on your guy. Wadim Saviete Sika Yafanko Tovenza.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bliss,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Ghana Talks Radio, number 1.
Good morning and welcome to Ghana Talks Breakfast Show on Ghana Talks Radio. It's the last Monday of the month of September and also the last but one day of the 9th month of the year. Tomorrow happens to be the last day. Last days used to be dangerous, but now no, they are not dangerous. Now last days are miraculous. So I know in these last days of this month, the 9th month actually symbolizes something. They call it the birth month. According to not just science but astrology, they believe that in the 9th month is where birth is given. So everything on the 9th, today being 29th of the 9th month of this year, yes, it should bring you some birth, some fruitfulness, and I pray you become fruitful as the 9th month comes to an end. A good morning to you once again. A beautiful new day and a beautiful brand new week, which is also going to usher us into a brand new month. Our conversations will begin very soon, and as usual, I want you to be a part of it. I want you to lend your voice to whatever we are about to discuss in the studios. Today I have with me the NDC's communicator. I have Dennis, a social commentator as well. The NPP man had an emergency, so unfortunately he won't be able to join us. But yes, you are still going to enjoy the conversation with us in the studios today. So brace yourself up as we get into the discussions right away. Avi.
Yes, sir, Chief.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How has it been?
Oh, we thank God. It's been an eventful week.
Yeah.
Or let me say weekend. A lot of things happened. It sounds like Ghana had exhibited a lot of progress on the world scene.
Really?
Yeah, and I think locally too, we have seen a lot of developments.
Okay.
So I'm sure we are on track. Government is doing its best. Citizens are law-abiding. We thank God. But to start, I think I want to extend my greetings to our listeners and viewers alike on various platforms.
Sure.
This is where Ghana listens. This is where Ghana talks, and this is where Ghana listens. I want to use this opportunity to extend my greetings to all the NDC communicators. In fact, communication is not an easy thing, especially when you are having to meet propagandists, well-trained in lies by the MPP. Whenever you meet them, sometimes it's not easy to dismantle the lies they have cooked. It's not, it's not easy like that.
Yeah.
And you have to communicate well, propagate the policies and the outcome of policies of your government.
Yeah.
So it's not been easy like that, but we thank God that we have been able to go through it through an election. We have succeeded in getting our message resonate with the Ghanaian public, and we are in power. It's not an easy thing. It's a human's job we did. But I know that we need to exercise some patience and then look at what government, would do. So the communicators, I think I have the singular honor to announce that soon there will be a platform that will try to assemble all the communicators for a purpose. So I will come here to announce the platform soon. I think Ghana Talks Radio is where Ghana listens. So we'll definitely come here to announce the platform as soon as possible. I can assure our listeners and viewers and the communication team members of the NDC. So soon we shall be launching something like that.
Wow.
To get recognition from the party.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best. I don't know the details of it yet. I wouldn't want to ask you since you said you will find time to come and really announce it. So we'll leave it there. But it sounds good. It sounds good. Yeah. Well, then also. Yesterday my team won, so I'm happy. You see, my producer have run away from the studio. His team didn't win, mine won.
Okay.
Yeah, so he will run away. But after the show, we'll talk.
Yeah. Then you should be happy this morning.
Well, I am happy, but I'm tired as well. My weekend was very packed, very packed. From Aflawo to Ho to a whole lot of places. I only returned this dawn.
Okay.
I haven't really eaten like that, so I need some banku and fufu to quench my tiredness. That will be after we enjoy the show this morning.
Then you I think you are at the right place. Because I'm seeing some beautiful ladies here. You can't tell me that they are only educated and they don't know how to prepare sumptuous dishes.
Oh, they actually really do know, but for the work,
as an like this, she will take you to a different level in the preparation of dishes, the ewe dishes. I've seen Dosu.
Yeah, Debbie.
Yeah, I think she will take you to the Ashanti.
Debbie is also ewe.
She's a.
And Reggie as well.
Manui. And Reggie,
but they are all very good with
Reggie. What about Regina?
She speaks a word fluently.
But she's not.
She is.
She's also an Ewe.
Yeah.
Really?
You see how beautiful they are. But honestly speaking, and being in the Volta region this weekend, the way Charlie,
my brother, you are on air. So sometimes you can't talk too much, but in fact, you see how beautiful Volta region is.
Oh yes,
the same as the people living there. It's not only beauty, facial beauty, but some, beauty as in and out.
Well. Sure,
you understand?
Sure. Yeah. Anyways, we have Dennis joining us in the studios as well. Dennis, good morning.
Good morning.
Dennis is always looking serious. It's not easy.
No, this morning he's looking particularly serious.
I think that Dennis has the personality to become a president.
Hey.
Oh yes.
Don't let
you see how serious he is, and if you follow Dennis so well, he abreast himself with all the international happenings. Ask him about the Gaza. war right now. Ask him about China's bilateral whatever with Russia. He knows everything about these things.
Yeah, I used to be very ardent follower of those things.
Yeah.
But business took my attention.
Sure.
Because I loved international politics, international law. I did business administration, but I later found out that my strength would lie in those areas.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's good. Well, Dennis,
but you know what? Talking about international politics and international relations.
Yeah.
How do you rate His Excellency the Finest President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama? On the occasion of the speech he delivered at UN General Assembly?
See, it's not an easy task to communicate to the entire world and have that applaud, that uproar, that recognition. The man spoke, and after his speech, every Ghanaian felt proud to be a Ghanaian.
Proud. Do you know what's gladdened my heart?
No.
On that stage, and at the very moment or the circumstance, there are some world issues going on.
Yeah.
And there were repercussions for going contrary to Big Brother's, order. But you see how he navigated his speech
easily,
meandered it
easily,
made sure he has spoken Ghana's mind without fear or favor, in a very diplomatic way,
without stepping on anybody's
toes. And yet he sent the message clearly.
Clearly.
And you saw what happened afterwards.
They actually reversed
a lot of
restrictions.
Because as Ghana pray that you continue to get a leader like His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Other than that,
do you think there should be a campaign for him to extend his?
Me, I don't know why the man quickly. But you see, this is democracy.
Yeah.
Other than that,
he should have.
Come on. Until we get a better replacement.
Baumia is there.
Hey.
That's about Baumia is there. I'm talking about better replacement. Baumia is there.
No. Do you know what? Baumia would have used all the time to love her. you would just. But you see, I don't know. His Excellency John Dramani, the man is so fine. He's cut out for leadership. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't know how come he's so fine. He's so It's a whole mix,
embodiment of leadership.
Yes. And on the things he touched.
Yeah.
It isn't that this is the first time an African leader is talking about what he spoke about. It isn't the first time, but you see the manner in which he said it made it sound profound.
Yeah. The articulation.
Okay. Yes, he articulated
timing, everything.
So, but how can
I mean, even with the West, they have these immigration issues. You understand? Even the manner in which he touched it,
that.
You understand? I mean, he was spot on. But I had a disagreement, though.
About what?
On his statement, the statement that he made that the recognition of a Palestinian state is not a reward to Hamas. I support the recognition of a Palestinian state. I duly support it. But the timing is wrong. And why is the timing wrong? Israel is at war with Hamas, you understand? And they are holding, regardless of whatever you want to make, they are holding 48 captives alive, 48 captives hostages. You understand? So the best thing anyone could do is just let these guys, whatever, woo them to release the hostages. Then after then, that is when the recognition comes in. But in the moment of they are in a moment of dialogue. You understand? And Hamas, anytime Hamas meet the needs. I mean, both the needs of the needs put out by Witkoff delegation, that is representing the side of the United States, and Danny Danon and his people from Israel and Qatar, the Qatar mediators. Whenever the demands is agreed upon, then Macron and his cohorts, that is Keir Starmer, the Albanese from Australia, then they bring up something. Then Hamas, then they bring up the recognition of a Palestinian state. Then it emboldens Hamas that because the recognition of a Palestinian state, it's a clear reward to Hamas. Anka, you guys know the pressure should rather be on Hamas. You understand? The pressure should be on Hamas. So release the hostages. Release them. When you release them, I mean recognition. It can come at any time. You have emboldened them.
Okay. You see.
You understand? You have emboldened. See, me, I fully support the recognition of the Palestinians. I fully support it, but not at this time. Let them release the hostages. You understand? Okay. Let them release the hostages. Let's come to the table. What are your demands? Even say Hamas, separating it from PLO. PLO, there we know that the Palestinian Liberation Movement. No, we know that they need is clear-cut recognition of a Palestinian state. Okay. But Hamas, we don't know their demands. So it clearly tells us that what they are fighting is a proxy war. What they are fighting, they are not fighting on behalf of the Palestinians. It's a proxy war fought by Iran. Almost discard to destabilize the Middle East. You understand? So
why do you think we are meddling around the entire issue?
You see, history is clear. The state of Israel was created. There was a point in time, is it Ronald Reagan of America? He said, even if Israel didn't exist, they will create Israel. The land isn't theirs. You understand? They came, they were given a piece of it, and today they want everything. This is the bottom of the issue.
But if you are saying the land isn't theirs, you are being wrong. Why? Historically, you see this argument that I'm coming to make. You will say that the Jews there now are not the Jews of old, but historically, it's biblically, and even in the Quran,
don't even bring that. You are talking about today's world. Are you aware that it's documented? It's documented. The land isn't theirs. You understand? So it's simple. You see, there is
so as the Palestinians. No. You can trace their roots to the Ottoman Empire. We can have this conversation all over. Almost free. They are Turkish.
My brother,
they are part of many. Their origins.
Look, in Ghana here, the first settlers. Okay.
The Guans.
Yes, the Guans. In fact, you cannot come and today say because the Asantis or the accounts are many, they are going to ensure that they get rid of them. First settlers own the land. It's simple. It's natural. It's a natural thing. But you see,
and the Palestinians are not the first settlers.
You know what? It's simple.
We can trace their roots.
America should take itself out. But you see, and because America's allegiance to Israel, and the fact is simple, most of the American leadership, those operating on the scene and behind the scenes, they are Jewish.
Yeah.
You see it.
No,
so there's no way they are going to turn their backs
on their
at
Israel.
Sure.
But
that's understandable.
If you want us to also use religious history, you wait. The time will come because to understand this properly.
Let me tell you.
You have to read the Quran.
Let me tell you.
Gentlemen, let's hold on with the international.
I just want to say something. Bethlehem, until the Israel handed it completely over to the Palestinians. Bethlehem was almost 99% Christian population. Here, Bethlehem, Christian population, it has reduced to 20%.
There's something you don't know.
What don't I know?
But it's pure religious matter, so I don't want to delve into it.
That's why I also don't want to. But whatever
you
you
talk
bring
about,
out, can't I?
no, you see, when you talk about the inhabitants of Bethlehem, in Islamic theology, okay, we say Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What religion is Jesus Christ?
I mean, ordinarily, as a Christian, behind him say Jesus Christ is a Christian.
But we believe he's a Muslim.
The Bible says otherwise, and the Quran says otherwise.
That is the point I'm making. So, to you, the inhabitants of Bethlehem.
How you are wrong in this statement, in the sense that how can anyone? It's like saying that Muhammad is like a Christian also claiming that peace be upon him. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a Christian.
No, you see, the terminology Christianity didn't even exist when Jesus Christ was alive.
What are you saying?
You are confused. Let's move on.
You are rather confused.
No, he doesn't.
But don't you know that Christianity predates Islam?
How? Do you know that the word Christianity, Jesus Christ doesn't even know? He doesn't even know it existed.
Was born out of.
It was the aftermath.
The aftermath.
Yes, of Jesus Christ.
Yes,
the word Christianity.
Yes, and even so from that assertion, you will know even when the disciples, Islam was born out of peace be upon him, Prophet Muhammad.
No. That's not Islamic knowledge. That's not what Islamic theology teaches. Islam is simple. The belief and the total submission.
So you are saying you are saying Islam
is Islam. So anybody who believes that God is only one, and he also pay allegiance to the prophet of the time he exists, that is a Muslim. That's simple.
That is not the general knowledge hovering around.
No, it's general knowledge. Maybe you have not read to that extent, but that
is not the general knowledge.
My brother, I'm a Muslim. I'm not an ordinary Muslim.
He's like a teacher. He's a teacher.
I have been to an Islamic school. Mako Islamic school.
Islamic school when I go.
Because
he's an Islamic teacher.
Me a Christian, and I've had the benefits. Matsina.
Okay, Google the meaning of Islam right now.
No, so you are saying
it's total submission to the will of Allah.
Taking your word. Let this be established.
My brother, let me
establish this. Let me establish this here. It is my show.
Yeah, it's your show. Yeah.
And we are done with what you are saying.
Yes,
okay. Let's move on to what I want us to talk about.
Good.
So we are here again. Yeah. The issues on board are very important.
Yes.
I thank God there wouldn't be any opposition.
But I really needed them to clarify
something today. What would they have even said?
Oh, they have a lot to say.
Because this thing.
Okay, then I'll say something.
The NLA thing.
Okay.
Oh, things like what?
For that one we know.
Must forget.
Things like what?
Why did the World Bank wait until Akufo-Addo left power before they come to say that COVID wasn't there?
Me honestly,
proud to this official statement.
Yeah,
but say bits of pieces they were releasing.
Yeah, we had their governor say something.
Indirectly telling us.
Honestly speaking, sincerely, in all sincerity, sometimes on these matters of national interest, I want to be
nationalistic.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to be objective. World Bank is not an institution that should determine the position of Ghana on the economic front.
Are you sure?
Yes.
These people support us economically.
They don't.
They do.
They don't.
Oh.
Now what that? The amount of money they make out of countries like us, like ours. Now what that? Your mind cannot fathom.
See, I get that there is a benefit. I understand that they benefit from that, but then also they are the people we go to seek help from whenever we are in need.
Because we are not a serious country.
We are
not disputing that.
You understand?
I'm raising that because if we say they can't determine where we stand economically, we are wrong.
We go there with our economic books to get support from them, so they can actually tell us where we are. And where we are.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Okay, what do you mean by that?
When Rawlings was in government, they worked with him. When he exited, my brother, stop those things. Master, baby, we are saying do no. Don't you?
Addressing
Donald Trump. Hey, Mr. Trump. Hey, Trump. Now who was here? His Excellency. The only person who deserves that right now is His Excellency John Dramani.
Everybody deserves it.
Because
once a president, always a president.
Anyway, that's just by
the former president.
But you see, okay, former President Rawlings, when he was in government, they held him. He exited power just some few minutes or days after exiting power. They described his administration as very poor.
You are making some points here.
You understand?
Go on. Yeah.
Then President Kufuor came. When President Kufuor left power in 2008, right into His Excellency Atamosis era, they described Kufuor's government as a poorly managed, administration.
Okay.
The same thing happened in 2016. You get my point?
Really?
They should just leave us.
Look, it seems they are complicit.
What I want is a Ghanaian institution should criticize Ghana for poor economic performance. It shouldn't come from these people.
Okay.
These same people were those helping Nanado to take more loans
but
and cripple the economy.
If we could be honest, our renowned economists, including Professor Bopping, Dr. Itwain, and all of that,
Joe Jackson,
they were hammering on it.
No. Listen.
So
I'm not disputing. No, I'm not disputing that. You see, whatever they said, Ghanaians are aware of it already.
Yeah, we are aware. So
we knew President Akufo-Addo and his vice president Baumia, Dr. Baumia. We knew they were messing up the economy. We will come into the details of it.
Get into that.
We knew already. In fact, before this statistics by World Bank or this pronouncement by World Bank, we felt the bad governance
in our pocket.
In your pocket. Pocket in the
in our lives. If we say that, we are not being grateful. We are not being grateful to the past administration. See, they gave us free water.
Free electricity. Stop that.
They even fed us free food. Didn't you get some?
Food for
me, I didn't get any food.
They said free food for everyone. Everyone in the country.
No. You know
the foreigners.
On a more serious note, we don't need the World Bank.
It was an avenue to steal. It was an avenue to steal.
No. You see, you will delve into it properly. We knew already that there wasn't any justification for President Akufo-Addo and Baumia and the MPP moving the dollar from 3 cedis 48 to 49 pesos to 18 cedis.
There was a justification.
There wasn't. That COVID.
Yeah.
Do you know how much money the government of Nanado had from COVID? They made a lot of money to the extent that their finance minister, Ken Ofurata, was in parliament telling us how well they managed the COVID funds, to the extent that the monies they had from outside the jurisdiction of Ghana aided us in financing our budget. It means omu yusu COVID sika na omunye free amanone no, omu yusu biama ebi kakra omu san de Ghana budget mu. So my brother, they shouldn't, in fact the MPP, well, the World Bank should shut up, the MPP should probably shut up. You understand? There wasn't any justification for the total breakdown of the economy, and we shouldn't say or assign it to Ukraine.
So what should we assign it to them?
Okay, very good. When MPP took power in 2017 January, the first thing they started doing was to target our local banks.
Okay.
Set them up for collapse. Make sure that the only microfinance that will be fledging, airborne, was Kenofarates Microfinance Institution.
Carbon.
Which one?
Microfinance.
I don't know. Where near there? Is it SIC?
There be a.
Is it Carbon? Carbon.
There is no Carbon.
No. Oh,
it's around Accra Hodum. Ufri.
Are you talking about the bank or the insurance company?
No, the bank.
Data bank.
I
thought the insurance company.
They had one branch, only that branch.
And there were you. Accra Central.
Accra Central, Honum.
Yeah. Is this in existence?
Share.
Oh.
They said we are through credit. Now, many share. You know what? They did that deliberately by moving the minimum capital. What do you call it? Requirement from 120 million Ghana cedis to 400 million Ghana cedis. After assessing and getting to know that most of the local banks can't meet that requirement.
Yeah.
Until the end, banning flashing more out. But when we say they closed the microfinance in Kwao, more than 230 something.
Oh yeah, sure.
They closed them down. Closing them down means usika owa ashe ana obenya kra na kitin ebeshe. It meant that a lot of people will lose employment. You understand? It meant that it will bring instability to the economy.
But
Be a crowd.
I know. I'm only asking these people, was there a valid reason for their banks to be closed down?
No. There wasn't. My brother, you know what?
Oh,
2008
so they just woke up.
Yes, they did. That's what they did.
In some cases,
No. There was no justification.
In some cases, they were justified.
Wow.
Look at the ex-military officer now, or bank now. Forget
UT. Oh,
that guy in the books was.
Who told you? No, did you see his books? No, did you see his books? I'm coming there, my brother. He has
the floor, so.
Uti. Now, after doing that, most of the banks that survived were international banks.
Okay.
Mind you, in 2008, a whole America was in recession, economic recession. Do you know what the government did? The government supported the banking industry hugely. What do you say? In instances where the banks were insolvent, complete, the American central government bought the debts for the banks to enable the banks come back alive. Because America knows that the banking sector is an integral part of their financial system.
Okay.
Apart from that, the number of jobs it will create. Apart from that, the private enterprises it will build. The government of America saw the need to pump money into it. Before MPP came to power, the Bank of Ghana governor under President John Dramani Mahama's first term, something Ampao, he made a report. He presented a report to Parliament that it is true the banking sector is close to getting into crisis. But we will require 9 billion Ghana cedis, 9 billion Ghana cedis to resuscitate them, to revive them, to resurrect them, to get them on their feet. The then Bank of Ghana governor presented this report to Parliament that they needed 9 billion Ghana cedis to make sure that the banking sector is cleaned up and is well doing. The MPP came to power, made mockery of those things, threw them through the windows, and spent 21 billion Ghana cedis to collapse all those banks. There was no justification for what they did. Go to UT Bank. Do you know that government contractors were owing the bank huge sums of money? You came, they should bring this. Oh, yeah, oh, people have taken the money. Your own contract, you government, your own contractors. You have given road contracts, hospital. They have come for the loans, and they have not repaid. You say, no, you guys don't have money. Close it down. The same happened to Dr. Parkwesi Ndum. As at the time they collapsed GM Bank, GM Bank had its monies with the government contractors to the tune of 7.1 billion Ghana cedis.
Okay.
GM Bank had more than 7.1 billion Ghana cedis with government contractors. Contractors, you government have given letters of credit.
All these things is in factual.
You understand?
They are all factual. The figures is given.
You collapse them.
They messed up.
Because you say what they had in their books is 30.08 million Ghana cedis.
That means that if they haven't given out these loans, they would have had that sustainable amount.
Yes.
Okay.
Now you see, one thing is that even if the government had positive motives behind it, you will not collapse them. Are you aware that only in the microfinance we lost more than 20,000 jobs? More than 20,000 jobs. Imagine, are you sitting here? I can tell you whether you have not communicated this to me, but I know that you feed more than 3 people in your home. Apart from those who have wives and children and their mothers depend on them, their fathers, say type, maybe you are feeding 3 people times 20,000. Why won't the economy collapse? And you see, when you start doing these things, when you renege on your responsibility to revive American government, now they say even the whole American government knew their banks were collapsing and they had to inject huge sums of money into it. Now Ghana, America almost share banking as in the days of Rothschilds, in the days of P. Morgans, Rockefeller, no more pension. The gurus of banking, banking sector collapse. My buying discussion. Now Ghana fianwe. No more collapses institutions. Do you know that? It is because of that thing I lost my job. I'm telling you. I used to work for a financial institution.
Wow.
You understand? We were dealing in bonds and securities, Standard Securities Limited. Our office was around Ajingano.
Oh.
We sold bonds, treasury bills, and all those things. We managed people's finance. I was working there right after school. I had to be laid off because government forcefully folded the company. So, my brother, that thing they did, it was the beginning of the collapse of the system. My brother, just look at all these institutions they collapsed. Data Bank survived. A bank with 1 branch, it survived. You see, these people, I sympathize with the MPP for having those leaders.
Let me chip in there. I remember what was a Ghana card replacement. I don't know. Let me chip in this with the data bank issue.
Yeah.
Was it around 2020 thereabout? They directed with those who had issues with the card, the Ghana card.
Yeah.
They directed us that we go to LWAC, almost share center, so that you go, whatever issues you have, you tell them, they sort you out. And the payments, do you know the bank that was accepting the payment?
This is Data Bank.
Data Bank.
Yeah. Man, brother, wait. You are talking about Ghana card. Let me tell you something. All the loans government contracted from 2017 right up to 2024.
Yeah.
During their Nanado and Bamia's tenure were contracted through Data Bank.
Yeah.
So it made huge sums of money.
Huge.
And
you see it?
Do you know that? You see, when we go for loans and all, or some international contractual financial dealings, there is a security basis, what we call insurance.
Insurance guarantee.
Ghana, we have an insurance company we use for these things, right?
Yes. State insurance
company, which is SIC.
SIC.
Do you know that right from 2017, all our insurance guarantees was made by Enterprise Insurance?
Yo.
And do you know who owns Enterprise Insurance?
Unipa.
So you see, my brother, nobody should deceive anybody that they had justification for collapsing those institutions. You understand?
One man that his bank actually, Beige Capital,
was doing you see Beige Capital, the system created by Nanado and Baumia punished the gentleman,
very young man,
very promising man. One had the brains to start a business, government support to grow the banks.
Have you been to his resort in New Brain before?
No.
Hey,
it's still operating.
It should be. I think that would be the.
My brother, you know Heritage Bank.
Yeah,
say that Gongo.
Yeah.
He say that Gongo. They are going to close you down. The bank wasn't having money. The bank wasn't insolvent. The bank had plenty money. It had plenty cash. The only thing is, say that Gongo was cited for a criminal issue, and it was in court. The issue when we all know, per the studies we had, the little studies we had in business law, a company is a separate entity from the owners.
From the owners, yeah.
Mostly because the owner is facing criminal trial in court, so take the license from the bank. You see, sometimes we are on radio, but this is absolutely stupidity.
There was a time
when you say actually omuko through criminal in now court case say do agongo nya boni bia in whatever jail he was cited. No who son omo finance omo say there be enfama. You see what they did?
It's serious. He once came out to say that I'm coming. He once came out to say that one of the people in government then approached him to buy the bank.
Yes. And he didn't mention the name, but we will know who approached him to buy the bank. He said no, he's not selling the bank.
That was when they confiscated his license.
What?